You know, walking down the street, if I see someone who looks interesting and I think there might be like a property investor, and I've done this many times, just walk up to them, hey, I'm Shaz. Just saw you walking down the street coming out of that building. Are you by any chance a property investor? Great, networking galore. That is who I have created myself to be. In this video, I am going to tell you how to smash through boundaries, transform your mindset and approach with regards to social interactions, getting the outcome you want, and absolutely living a life that you do not give a fuck about what other people think. So one of the general kind of themes in entrepreneurship and mindset that comes up quite a lot is this topic of just kind of developing this general approach of going after a goal, not giving a shit about almost what other people think in your pursuit of the goal. It's, you know, I don't give a fuck. It's that type of approach. Now, I get asked a lot about how to actually create that and how to develop it. Well, the simple answer is it's a consequence, in my view, of experience. And the great thing about experiences are that you can go out there and get them and create them. It's much like, you know, looking at someone who's got a fit and healthy body and then you ask them how they got that body. They weren't necessarily born with like muscles and fitness and abs and all the rest of it. And it's quite obvious without you even asking them that the way they developed that body was to be hitting the gym, exercising regularly, managing their diet, and making sure they were doing the things which would create the outcome that they wanted. Well, the same goes for mindset. Again, it's not something we're born with. It's something which actually, you know, is a consequence of the experiences we might have had in our life. And if you want to develop a certain mindset and you haven't yet had the experiences that have naturally led you there, you can actually go out and deliberately have certain experiences in order to develop that part of your mindset. A few years ago, I was in a situation where I had been reliant heavily on alcohol. The first time that I actually drank, I think, was during my first year of university. It was obviously an interesting experience, and my mindset gradually started to shift. I went from a place of, you know, hey, I'm having a great time, okay, people are drinking, you know, I'll try it, I'll have a drink and see what happens. It goes from, we're having a great time, let's have a drink, to let's have a drink so we can have a great time. And that tipping point is where things start to get messy. And over the years, that actually led me to a place where I was drinking more and more. 2 or 3 times a week, I would be getting heavily drunk, vomiting, and I'll be hungover for a day or 2 afterwards, and I'll be doing this in the middle of the week. Now, I reached a low point in life, and actually I made the decision to stop drinking. So I went to an Alan Carr program, the same program that I had used previously to give up smoking, and I used the same program to give up alcohol. And so I never drank again, and I haven't drank for like 3 or 4 years. Now, the point is not about the alcohol story, the point is what happened next. What happened next was that I went from dependent on alcohol to not using alcohol and then going out in social settings where I would usually be used to having alcohol. I found myself in a situation where I was, you know, a recluse. I was very introvert, I was very quiet, I didn't have the social confidence. Even in settings like where I was out at a friend's birthday, I didn't feel able to actually socialize effectively, and it was a real sort of train wreck. So I literally decided to create experiences that would shift my mindset back into this place where I could go out there and just be bold, be interactive, be sociable without requiring any sort of substance, you know. So actually what I did was I found the most extreme scenario that I could. It was an RSD boot camp, Real Social Dynamics, which is actually talking to women, meeting women out on the, you know, when you're out and about. When you're attracted to a woman and you want to talk to her, because of the emotions and the desires involved in that, that becomes the most difficult scenario for a guy to kind of approach. And if you can crack that, then socializing in a bar with your mates or random new people becomes easy. And the RSD bootcamp was literally a 3-day boot camp of immersion where we would start with simple exercises, and it was all around central London. So we did simple things like walking down a street and maintaining eye contact with people. And then we gradually got into slightly more out there things, like we had to do ridiculous dances like humping lampposts in the middle of, you know, busy intersections, talking to women who we would see on the street. Would literally be standing there and our trainer would be like, "This girl, go." And we literally just had to go up to them, say hello, introduce ourselves, and just stay in the conversation until it naturally concluded, or they told us to go away, or maybe the conversation unfolded and we ended up exchanging phone numbers. And we gradually had more and more kind of out there intense drills to run. It's not about the kind of picking up women, it's about the training our social skills in the most extreme circumstances. In the evenings, it got even more extreme than that. We're literally in nightclubs, like crazy wild nightclubs, and we had to go and approach groups of girls in that nightclub environment with the booming music, with loads of people, with all the girls who have, you know, made an effort to look pretty, and there's going to be guys all around, you know, trying to get their attention. You have to go up to girls who you've never met before, engage them in conversation. You're not allowed to just dance with them, you have to actually engage them, and you have to use everything within your power to do that. Loud body language, loud volume, engaging eye contact, you know, great energy, and you have to really manage that to engage them, and you have to stay in that conversation for at least a minute with the coach timing you. If you get kicked out, you have to go back in, and it literally got as extreme as going up to the girl on the podium to do exactly the same thing. Now, after a weekend of doing that, being at a drinks event in a networking environment with a bunch of strangers is like, yeah, walk in the park. Hey, how's it going? I'm Shaz, you know. Who are you? Nice to meet you, you know, let's have a conversation. You know, walking down the street, if I see someone who looks interesting and I think there might be like a property investor, and I've done this many times, just walk up to them, "Hey, I'm Shaz. Just saw you walking down the street coming out of that building. Are you by any chance a property investor?" Great, networking galore. You know, things like being at dinners with big groups of friends, I can be bold, and you know, they're all, you know, busy chugging away alcohol to get to this state in which they believe enables them to be sociable and start having fun. And I just rock up in there and I'm bold as ever. It's not I'm an extrovert, it's not, you know, that's who he is, it's that is who I have created myself to be by putting myself in experiences and scenarios which will enable me to develop the skills that I require. So how to develop that can-do, out there, proactive attitude? Just get out there, practice it, immerse yourself, and you know what? It will be painful. You will crash and burn a lot at the beginning, but you have got to be willing to endure that short-term pain in order to break through the boundaries and develop a long-term skill set that will enable you to transform your approach and your way of being in life. So I hope you found that video useful. That video was created in response to some of the questions which some of you guys have been asking. So hopefully it answered some of the questions around general approach, mindset, can-do attitude. Please do let me know your thoughts, comments, and also let me know any follow-up questions. Subscribe now if you haven't already subscribed, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.